We are thrilled to be the first stop on the national tour for Students for Life, and it was just such a great experience getting to hear from Dr. B about how we can really be empowered to go forward, as future physicians, and really to be able to live our faith and care for women, in the way that Christ calls us to do so.
I am a third-year student. I drove up here tonight for my clinical rotation in Fayetteville, North Carolina. I definitely wanted wholeheartedly to be here tonight, and I'm glad that I could. Dr. Bruchalski is a voice and for those of us who choose to, as he said tonight, follow our conscience and follow our God. I think it's so incredibly important to me and to my fellow students that somebody chooses to speak up to us about his own experience in what we're going into as medical students in the future. He addressed how his practice sees the poor, sees women in need, and sees the whole of human life from conception to the end. One of the things that I will take away most from tonight is that it is okay to follow my conscience.
If they believe that their life will be harmed detrimentally by having a child, it is not my job or my place to use my power and my position as a physician to influence them.
No, I understand your caution, but remember, as a doctor, you want to provide good health for the woman.
Yeah.
And so what happens is that this challenge, there's a great study in JAMA in February 2nd or 3rd of this year, where doctors, I think from Miami, in the state, or the other state, they say that doctor autonomy, that the personal beliefs of the doctor come face to face. And they say in the practical world, not all hospitals provide all services. Some do cardiac, some do this. There's always going to be places where we're not going to, that just because a patient comes to Tallahassee General and says, I want a plastic surgery done here. Well, we don't do that. That hospital is not asked. So therefore, I think that once again, you have choices, but I think as a doctor, and I'm going to take what you said and kind of wrap my head around it. But for yourself, I think that if you believe that life is important, you shouldn't have to hang up your conscience, meaning you're not an automaton as a doctor. We've had 30 years of doctors being seen as dispensers of pills. I don't have a relationship with a doctor. I have a relationship with my insurance company. I go to the doctor, I ask him, put it this way, if you have a virus, are you going to give that woman antibiotics? No, you won't, because it's good medicine. But she might want antibiotics. Doc, come on, Jim. Come on, Jimmy. Come on, I'm paying $10 out of my copay, and you're not going to give me an antibiotic because you think I have a virus? It's the same issue. It's the same issue.
I wouldn't say so. Because
well, I know, but think about it.
We just had a wonderful talk by Dr. John Bruchalski. I would highly recommend any school of medicine having him come talk, since he gives a great testimony to, I guess, how to be an excellent physician to women by thinking kind of about them holistically. And I don't know, I just really enjoyed him talking about his journey from during residency providing abortions and sterilizations to now just realizing there are other options to help in women's health besides those for different issues that they have. I also enjoyed just hearing about his practice, the Tepeyac Family Center, where serving the poor is not something that they do kind of for spring break, and it's not something, you know, that they do one Saturday a month, but it's every single day of inviting, not just having spots for them, but actually, you know, inviting them into their practice and taking care of poor women, taking care of rich women, taking care of just all women from all spectrum of life. So yeah, he was very inspiring, and I think he has lots of words of wisdom on science for all of us aspiring doctors, as well as words of wisdom on being true to your conscience.
I'm a theology major here at Spring Hill College, and Dr. John's talk touched me in a good way today because it was a delicate balance of both Christian ethics as well as an emphasis on the medical aspect of healthcare reform, and also with how abortion affects him personally, because he used to be an abortionist. And the feedback from the students was great, because we had students from both the medical and the theological side coming to us and asking more questions, about their faith and about the medical field and what they can do to change their community.
I just got off an OB rotation, so hearing Dr. John come and speak was actually kind of nice, because it was basically, it was like during the OB rotation, in my mind, it was always me versus them being like basically the whole system, because the whole system was very, very much pro-choice, and it revealed itself to be that way, even though they don't perform abortions at LSU. But it was I guess enlightening to have him come and give a different perspective. It's not so much us versus them. It's once you're looking at it like that, you've lost sight of the patient, and it's always about the patient. And that's what they said in medicine, and it applies in OB too. It's about the patient, and if you lose sight of the patient, then you've lost sight of what you're doing. And it was good to have added perspective, I suppose.
Dominic and I, we're standing in front of Charity Hospital. Charity Hospital started out as a religious hospital that basically lost its way, probably ethically as well as financially. It's now closed. This building with the barbed wire fence that we're standing in front of is closed. It's empty. It's a symbol. It's an icon of what modern medicine is. And I believe that there's a better way. I believe that we can bring life back into this building and make these stones become alive with your work and your coming into this. And so, once again, we're here in New Orleans at the end of the first week of our road trip, going to 22 medical colleges in 14 cities over a 2-week period. And we're here trying to talk and create a conversation, a new language, through experience and real, honest, excellent medicine, so we can kind of bridge that social justice issue with that right to life and really provide a better medical experience, both for patients and for practitioners. The pain of abortion and the pain of too little access is at its core the loss of mercy and human dignity in medicine. Divine Mercy Care, in order to remedy this, had a 3-part strategy, one of service, education, and unification. So in that spirit, Divine Mercy Care has partnered with Medical Students for Life in order to approach the next generation. Health is based on the relationships found in community, and the relationship between mom and her unborn baby is at the heart, that essential relationship that's good for the person, good for the family, and good for society. We believe that you can love enough in medicine that abortion becomes unthinkable. And as you welcome patients, we can introduce them to excellent, integrated, cooperative medicine that's not only good for those who have insurance, but for those who don't.
So Medical Students for Life, where we stand is that it's theory and praxis disjunct, and so we can meet together as pro-life medical students. We can meet together with our Catholic Medical Association groups, our Christian Medical Dental Association groups, but it all remains in the medical school, and so we can actually go out to the community, be able to find real workable models of true healthcare that unites excellent medicine with service to the underserved, which unites care for every patient, including the unborn, including the poor, And so toward this goal, we're partnering with Divine Mercy Care to be able to go out into the community, to be able to see how it's been done before and how we can build it even better and bigger in the future.
If you want a more excellent way, if you're struggling, if you want to build your resume, if you want to get rid of that pessimism and cynicism and depression, if you want to, in a world that's gone crazy, I think Divine Mercy Care and Medical Students for Life have a better way, a more excellent way, a way that's done positively, a way that's done cooperatively, and a way that you can really build not only your professional life, but your personal life.